Question for you. If you could invent anything without limitations, what would you choose and why? Would you go big, like creating a machine to cure all diseases? Or would you keep it personal, like a device that automatically finds your keys and wallet every morning? Hey philosophers, I'm Jonas, and this is Philosophy Friday, a place where we like inventing interesting questions for you philosophers to answer. Don't forget to check out the question for next week so you can be part of the conversation. Today's question. What would you invent if there were no limitations on what you can invent? You could invent a device that shrinks your siblings down to the size of an ant, or you can make something that tastes delicious and is filling, but has no calories. There are a lot of really cool ideas that would be nice if they existed. What if we could solve world hunger with the replicator from Star Trek? Or maybe we should invent a universal translator that instantly understands and speaks every language. That could go a long way to resolving disputes. That's actually similar to a previous Philosophy Friday question. What would you do if you could understand every language or speak every language, but not both? You should check it out. This invention could be anything. Think of all your pie in the sky ideas. Actually, that would be awesome. I love pie. I kind of wonder if inventing a mechanism to subscribe to this channel would be useful. If so, would you use it? Well, you're in luck. It's right down there. Let's see what our community has to say on the topic. Sydney Baldwin writes, a remote desktop connection, but for your brain. As a technophile, I have to say I really like this idea. Later, she said, it would also be kind of cool knowing what my cat is thinking. Cindy R. says, one of my kids used to say he was going to invent healthy sugar. I really wish that he would. Sugar is very hard on my body now, but I still love it and want a little bit of the sweet stuff. And they're finding more health concerns about using very much of the most common sugar alternatives. I really could use that healthy sugar right about now. An anonymous poster said, I'd like to fix the world and create something that ended climate change, or maybe create a device that makes the world of fiction books real. Thanks for your comments. If it ever becomes possible, I hope those things get invented. What would I invent? I spent more time than I probably should have thinking of a good idea for this week. I first considered something that would fix climate change. Like, what if we had something that could teleport people and goods anywhere instantaneously, eliminating the need for cars, which would reduce global emissions quite a bit. But I realized there is still a lot of pollution that is caused by factories or other sources. Then I thought about a carbon capture device that would filter carbon from the air. And before someone says anything about trees, I know. Though I think even with the maximum number of trees our planet could handle, we'd have a long way to go before net zero. So what about a pollution converter? That would be pretty cool. It takes some form of pollution and converts it to an ecologically healthy alternative. I also thought of a potential invention that has more of a selfish motive. What if you could touch a book and know instantly everything that it contains? I'd learn so much. That would be really cool. Though I wouldn't want to use it on fiction books. Those are meant to be savored. I ultimately settled on something quite different than any of those. Aerosolized empathy. See, one of my criteria was to find something that would do the most good for the most people. And I really wish that people had more empathy. I look around the world and see a lot of hate for no reason. Take the treatment of transgender people, for example. Why is there so much animosity? Every transgender person I've met has been extremely kind, something I can't say for cisgender people. They really just want what everyone else wants, to be understood, to be loved, and to be treated like a person. Of course, there are times when I'm too judgmental, and it would do me good to take a dose of my own medicine. But I think that's the best option. Though a future Philosophy Friday question I just thought of, if you could make people be more empathetic, would that be morally permissible? I hope one day we see a few of these inventions, but I want to remind you that we can always do our part to make the world a better place, and we don't have to invent anything. Thanks for watching, and keep questioning. So what do you think? What would you invent if there were no limitations? Comment below with your thoughts. And if you like this video, then join our conversation for next week, where we discuss whether we should teach our kids about Santa Claus. It's people like you who make these videos possible, and the best way to keep the community going is by joining our conversation in the comments, and you might be featured on next week's video.